myself, I can see it now. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. For those who don't know me, it is Micah. You probably all know me by now. I have a very small fan base. Speaking of which, I have 57 followers. Thank you so much for taking an interest in whatever this is and enjoying whatever this vloggy transition thing is that I do. So thank you so much for subscribing and liking and watching, because that's basically what it's all about. I'm really thankful for that. I know, where was the video on Sunday? I'm so sorry. Basically there was a bit of drama and I couldn't film, and I'm really sorry. I just couldn't do it. It was not a good weekend for me, and yeah, so the video got pushed back to kind of look after myself and kind of deal with the situation that was going on. But it's okay, there's no need to worry, it's all cleared up. Everything is fine, I promise. If there was anything going on I would tell you, but it's all sorted now, so it's just not worth thinking about now. The reason I am standing up and moving around is because it is freezing cold. It is day one in a 4-day storm that has hit my town, and it is absolutely freezing. It was snowing this morning, and it's really cold now because it is in the evening, and it's probably freezing outside again. So yay, I'm gonna have a great time trying to get to work tomorrow in the ice, and you know how clumsy I am, I'm probably going to end up on crutches again. But what can you do? So it's freezing cold, I'm standing up, so you get to see a slightly different perspective of my room, which is a few feet higher than is normal. I'm not incredibly tall, so like, you know, this is the height of a 5'4.5", you know, height kind of person. And yes, I have dyed my hair again. It is now pink. It is fantastic. I love it so much. I now look like a train wreck. Anyway, so today's video is something I've been promising since Sunday, which is my Ask Me Anything video. I know, you've seen that stupid picture all over my Instagram for the last week, I guess, and I'm finally gonna answer the questions that you guys have asked me. So this is going to be split into two little sections. It's going to be a Q&A, and it's also going to be a Would You Rather, because I got asked some fantastic Would You Rather questions, and I thought it should be like its own little portion of it. Anyway, on to the questions. I just about fell over. You just about saw that live on camera. Oh dear, it's gonna be one of those days. So I have my phone, I have my drink. Let's get on to this. Questions. You guys have been fantastic and have left me some fantastic questions, and I highly appreciate it. First question is, are your parents supportive of you being transgender and your decision on transitioning? Simple answer, no. Just no. Long answer, not at all. Well, they spent about 6 months trying to convince me that it was wrong, that I didn't know myself, that it was the influence of other people that was making the decision for me. You know, it was persuasion from other people that I'd cut my hair and changed the clothes that I wore, and basically that how was I supposed to know who I was? And you know, it was just a bombshell, and it was just, I wasn't their son. So that happened for about 6 months, and then I kind of just went, well, I understand that you're not going to accept it, that's fine, I will always leave the door open if you want to talk about it, come and talk to me, you know, you've always got my cell phone number, I'll keep you updated with what's going on, but I'm not going to constantly chase your approval, because it's just not worth it for me. Personally, in my mental state, I'm not going to put myself through that. So basically, no, they are not supportive, they do not agree with my transition whatsoever, but that's okay. I can't force them to accept who I am, and trying to force that upon them isn't going to help either, so I'm just going to be here and queer, and if they want to talk to me and come and, like, you know, be a part of my life, then that is up to them. But no, not supportive whatsoever. Question number 2. Was it hard coming out, and if so, I could really use some advice. Was coming out hard? Yes and no. I came out in 4 stages, which is probably a really complicated way of doing it. But I came out to my partner, to my friends, to my work, and then to my family. So I kind of gradually did it. I came out to my partner, who I knew was going to be supportive right from the get-go. So I came out to him first. We'd kind of had vague conversations about gender anyway, because I was at that time presenting as genderqueer, gender fluid, so gender was a constant thing in our relationship anyway. So I came out to him first and he was fantastic about it. That was back on the 15th of December 2015. I then came out to my friends in a Facebook post and an Instagram post, and basically just went, hey, I know around this time last year I came out as gender fluid, no, this time 2 years ago, sorry, I came out as gender fluid and I was using they them pronouns. This is when I also socially changed my name to Micah. But basically I have done a lot of time soul searching and I am a trans man. You know, use he, him pronouns, with the exception of around work or family, because I hadn't come out to them yet. So that was kind of around Christmas, just after Christmas. And then I came out to work a week before my birthday. So that was in February. My voice is really... I came out to my work just before my birthday, and I grabbed a support person from the queer support coordinator that works closely with my workplace. I took them as support. We had a conversation with my manager and my manager's manager, and we kind of just had a conversation, and we sat down and I went, this is what's going on with me, this is what I need to happen, you know, is this a thing that can work? And they were like, yeah, no, that's great, we'll get you a new name badge, we'll get your name changed in the system, you know, we will tell everybody to use he, him pronouns, that's all good. And so that was pretty smooth. There was issues with my name change, getting completely changed in the system, emails kept freaking out, and the address didn't change properly, and little things like that, little hiccups, but otherwise, you know, it was all fantastic. I'm a very lucky person in that I work in a workplace that is really accepting and has got a lot of LGBT kind of processes in place and kind of guidelines in place for people who come out as trans or are, you know, anywhere in the LGBT spectrum. So I've got quite a lot of good protections on me, which is fantastic because I know that not everybody has that. So that was really good. Family was the worst one. I deliberately left family till last because I wanted to make sure that I was stable in everything else first. I wanted to go, I've come out to friends, I've come out to work, everything is in place, it is now down to you to accept me as well. So family was really hard. I knew that my family wasn't probably going to accept me because just from things that I'd heard throughout my childhood. So I kind of just braced myself for the worst. And that's kind of, in terms of advice, if you are concerned that your parents aren't going to support you, my biggest piece of advice is make sure that you are safe before you do it. For me, personally, safe meant had a roof over my head, had an income, had people to support me behind me. That could mean whatever to anybody else, but for me being safe was having a place to call home, money to pay the bills, and people to hug me when I was sad. And that is what I needed in order to get the strength to come out in the first place. I needed to have that network of stuff behind me. And that's different for everybody. Some people cannot wait before coming out because they literally just can't deal with it anymore, and that is fine. It is each to their own. But make sure that you are safe before you come out, because you need to think of yourself first. This is your journey as much as it's other people's journey to like take with you. It is first and foremost your journey, and you need to look out for yourself first. So that is my biggest piece of advice, is to make sure that you are safe, make sure that you have people who do support you if you're in a situation where you don't think your family is going to accept you, and be proud of who you are. I mean, as much as I face, you know, discrimination, and I face the backlash of my decision, you know, to come out as trans, I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of the fact that, you know, I have to work a little bit harder to be who I want to be. You know, I'm proud of the fact that, you know, I'm here and I'm queer and I'm fabulous and what have you. Like, it's me, and this is my journey to be me and to be, you know, unapologetically me. You know, I don't want to be in the shadows. I don't want to hide. I want to be here, and I want to be present, and I want to be, hey, I am Micah, I am 22, I live in New Zealand, and I am a trans man in a gay relationship. How's it going? You know, I don't want to hide, so, but again, this is each to their own as well. But since coming out, I have been louder than ever about, you know, things that I like, things that I don't like, you know, things that upset me in the trans community, you know, things that upset me that, you know, things that affect me in the trans community, like bathrooms and binders and surgery and invasive questions. I want to kind of educate, but also, you know, go, in some instances, this is none of your business. So I want to be vocal about it, and that is not everybody. I'm off topic completely. But yeah, so just be comfortable, be strong about who you are, be safe, and just be happy. That's all I can ask of each and every one of you who is questioning their gender or is wanting to come out about their gender or their sexuality. Just be happy, do what makes you happy, because life is too short to be miserable and be in the closet, and be yourself and be unapologetically yourself, because it is your life and it is your road to travel, and whoever wants to join you on that journey is a fantastic person, and if they don't want to join you on that journey, then that is their problem. They are going to lose watching you blossom into an amazing person. That was a really long answer, and I apologise. Question number 3. How old were you when you started to question your gender identity? This is a complicated one for me. I know I've briefly touched on it in other videos. Gender identity is a weird thing for me. In its simplest form. I started feeling uncomfortable at around age 10/11 when I had to buy a uniform for the first time. I was going to a co-ed intermediate school, which is between kind of primary and high school. I don't know would that be, like middle school, I guess, maybe? I don't know. We had primary school, which is years 1 to 6, which is 5 to 10, and then intermediate is 10 to 12, and then high school was 13, you know, up to 16, 17. So I was at intermediate and I had to buy my first uniform, and I looked like a dorky kid, and I will put a picture right here. But that was my first actual girls' uniform. Up until that point we were in just whatever clothes we wanted to wear. And that was when I first started feeling uncomfortable. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it had a name or if anybody else felt it or anything. I just felt a bit weird. So I didn't actually question my gender identity until high school. In high school I was in an all-girls high school, and it was really awkward, and I was having a lot of other issues as well at the same time, so I didn't have a lot of time to focus on my gender identity. I spent a lot of time questioning my sexuality and just who I was as a person and what I was doing with my life, as you do at, you know, high school when they go, what are you going to do with your life? Because you're right about to start university and you have to pick what you're doing right now. School! So I didn't really have a lot of time to question my gender identity at high school, but I know it was an extension of intermediate. I still felt weird. Girls' uniform was weird, girls' bathroom was weird, it was weird. At the end of my first year at university, which was just a complete disaster, whoopsies, I was questioning my gender identity a lot. That year I was kind of toying around the idea of gender fluid, as I was basically trying to work myself out. Like, gender fluid and genderqueer are legitimate, valid identities. I was using it as a stepping stone, if you will. I was using it, excuse me, as a way of bridging the gap between girl and boy. Because I didn't know where I fit quite yet. You know, I knew I wasn't a girl, but I didn't know where I sit in the whole spectrum of things. So I used it as girl, gender fluid / genderqueer, boy. And I still kind of identify with the genderqueer label, because as much as I am 100% wholeheartedly a trans guy, I also, gender is a weird, wobbly, blurry thing for me. Like, I fully am a man, but I'm also not. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, I am a dude, but also like, gender norms are dumb, and I like blurring the gender kind of, the binary, I guess. I really enjoy blurring that line of what a male should be. Like, I love nail polish, makeup, hair dye, dresses, skirts, all these naturally feminine things. But I'm also 100% a dude, and don't you dare call me female, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I didn't really question my gender identity until much later in life, so kind of around 16, 17. And that is simply because I didn't have access to the resources to kind of discover my gender identity. It wasn't until I actually got to kind of university where I had the ability to start delving into these other gender identities and these other kind of ways of expressing yourself, and just labels and like feelings, and oh my god. And the internet is a wonderful, powerful tool, and I finally found names that fit what I felt. Question number 4, this is 8-4. What changes have you noticed with tea? Well, I've only been on teas for 10 weeks, almost to the day. Which is exciting in itself. I still can't get over the fact that this is finally happening. So far, as with my last transition update, there hasn't been that many changes, but that is just because I'm on a really low dose and it sucks. I want to be on the full dose now, but you know, I have to do what the doctors tell me. I have mustache hairs, that's quite exciting. So I've been scrutinizing myself in the mirror. I don't know why I keep holding these. I've been scrutinizing myself in the mirror since day one. Since the first tea shot, I've been like, do I have any facial hair? Do I have any? Calm down. Chill out, Micah. Seriously. Have a drink. But I've been scrutinizing myself since day one because I wanted to know when the changes happened. But last night, drum roll please, I have mustache hairs that are visible without the aid of a light. Oh my god! Sorry, I've been noticing, like, if I shine a bright light in my face and put the flash on the camera, I can see, like, here's hair, and, like, here's, like, here, and here's, like, here. But, like, actually, legitimately, but I have visible hairs. Like, I don't need, like, bright lights to see them. Like, I've got this one dorky little one that is just so like me. And, like, all my little mustache hairs are straight. I know, right? Straight hairs. This one little curly one. This one little gay hair. Oh, please. I'm such an embarrassment. But yeah, so I have visible mustache hairs now, and it's the best thing ever. And I cannot wait till they're actually, like, more visible so I can be like, I'm a dude. Can't you see by my creepy little mustache? I have noticed lots of leg hair. I mean, I already had hair legs anyway. I've noticed arm hair. I've got a little snail's trail, which is quite cool. Lots of acne, which is just great because I didn't have enough the first time around. My voice is getting a bit unstable, but I have been saying that for a long time and nothing's really changed. I'd like to think that it's doing something, but probably not till a few more shots yet. Question number 5. How did you come out? Lots of different ways. Lots and lots and lots of different ways. Well, 3 ways actually. Just 3. But that's lots. 3's lots. A few. I came out to my partner verbally. I came out to my friends via the Facebook, a big long rambly Facebook post, which is just embarrassing and like cringy because that's just me. I came out to my co-workers in 2 meetings, so I came out to my managers in 1 meeting, and then immediately after I came out to all of my co-workers and I cried, and then I came out to my family via a letter because I was going to give them the letter in person, and then a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened, which you can find out more in my coming out video. A whole bunch of crazy stuff happened and I just had to put the letter in the letterbox and run for the house. But that's how I came out. All of them were weird and different, and there was pros and cons to all of them. Find what you think is going to work best for you. If things look a little bit different, it's because they are. I went to edit this video and noticed that I had missed a whole bunch of questions from you guys, and I felt obligated to answer them. So my makeup is off my face, so I probably look as tired as I feel, but I thought I'd better answer these because I don't know how I missed them. I just did. And I'm really sorry if yours is one of the ones I missed. I'm just a bit of a useless human being. So my thoughts on binders. My thoughts on binders are they're fantastic and they're really great for alleviating chest dysphoria, which is my biggest dysphoria that I experience on a daily basis, is my chest dysphoria. And binders definitely help that. I just about fell over again. Binders definitely help that, but at the same time, binders aren't perfect. You are compressing your chest, your ribs are under there, you know, your lungs are under there, and it does over a long period of time. I mean, I've been binding for about 3 years. Over time you do damage yourself. I've damaged my ribs, I get sores, I get pinched, I get pulled in the wrong direction, and it does sometimes hurt. It's not a great long-term thing. If you can get surgery, that is probably the best option. If you're gender fluid like I was, then you're kind of going to cope a lot more because you can take it off and you can let the chest free. I just basically make sure to rest my chest as much as possible, so that is, as much as I hate having it without a binder on, I will, my entire weekends if I can, I spend without my binder on. They're great, but yeah, basically, long story short, binders are great, they're effective, but be careful. Follow the rules, you know, don't bind for more than 8 hours, use proper binders, don't use bandages, you know, don't use homemade things because they can restrict your breathing. Take breaks, and you know, just stay safe, guys, just stay safe. Would it be easier on your parents if you came out as gay rather than trans? Possibly not. I actually did, when I was still female presenting at high school, confess attraction to another female to my mother, who basically went off at me and told me that I wasn't old enough to know what love was. I was 15, I had a crush on a girl at my school, and that was my first signs that my parents, or that my mum rather, wasn't going to be very comfortable with the LGBT spectrum in general. Well, it was one of the signs anyway. And that's kind of where I drew back, because I was pretty much a full-on lesbian for like 3 years. I've kind of gone all around the sexuality spectrum. I've gone lesbian, pansexual, lesbian, back to pansexual, and I've stayed at pansexual because I am pansexual. Gender doesn't play a role in my relationships, and it doesn't play a role on my crushes, and too bad to my poor mother, I have kissed many a guy and many a girl and many of in between of the spectrum, and I have had relationships, I have had crushes, I've fallen in love with people of various genders, and that hasn't changed. So I'm sorry, Mum, but I still like girls. So no, I don't think it would have been easier for my mum. It would have been easier in some ways because I'd still be her daughter and I wouldn't have changed my name, but at the same time I still don't think she would have been very accepting of it. Probably slightly more so, but how did you pick your name? I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. I'm lazy. I don't know if you've noticed, but I am lazy and I picked my name. So my initials of my birth name were M.A. and then my last name. I didn't want to change my signature. I had finally, after years and years and years, nailed a signature that I signed and all of the stuff I signed at work. I didn't want to change it. So I picked a name that started with M and a middle name that started with A because I didn't want to change it. I'm really lazy. I know, it's terrible. So I picked Micah Ace because I didn't have to change my signature. I also really loved the names, Micah and Ace. I wanted to go for a gender neutral name because at the time I was genderqueer and I wanted something that was both male and female. I'm now slightly regretting it because I'm still quite female, my voice is still quite high, so I still get read as female. I think if I had a name like Michael or Matthew or something like that, it would kind of prod people in the right direction. But I love Micah and I can't imagine ever not being called Micah. Thank you so much to everybody who sent in a question for the Q&A. Quick reminder that I am holding a binder giveaway competition on my Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram, do not worry, I will hold one on my YouTube channel next month, so hang in there guys. I'll basically just be alternating between Instagram and YouTube, Instagram and YouTube, Instagram and YouTube, and then I'm hoping at the end of the year in December there will be a big giveaway, a huge big one with lots of prizes and like all sorts of cool things, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please make sure to like and subscribe and let me know down in the comments below. If you want to follow any of my social media, it is all down in the description as well. If you want to check out any of my other videos, there'll be some links over here to other things that I have done. And you can also subscribe by clicking that little bubble just up there. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I love you all and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.